We're just about ready for kickoff here as both teams kind of assembling for last-minute hurrahs, Tate. And again, I really look for BFA to come out and really establish themselves very quickly and force North Country into a catch-up situation.
Again, coming into tonight's ball game, the Bob Whites undefeated stand on top of Division II, 3-0 overall. Nipping at their heels, 3-0 overall, but 2-0 Division II is South Burlington. Team we'll see a little later this season.
And Burlington, correct me if I'm wrong, they're 1-1. Is that what their record is?
Burlington is 1-1. Their loss coming to South Burlington, and that game, at least score-wise, not competitive. So that was a bit of surprise a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Burlington's a funny team, Tate. They're another team that can be real good, or they can be average at best. I've seen Burlington come up with some kids, again, at the skill positions that do a nice job, and therefore they become very successful.
So the Bob Whites to kick away here. Josh Hungerford from his 40, line drive kick is going to be fielded by the deep man, actually over his head and out through the end zone. Chris, we've seen that a number of times this year by Josh Hungerford.
Yeah, Josh Hungerford has done an extremely good job keeping the ball away from some of the returners of the other team, and putting his team in a position where they can play defense at the 20-yard line instead of a catastrophic kick return, which, as you know, Tate, can happen at any time.
And field position so important in football. So here we go. The Falcons going to be led by quarterback Aaron Groden. It's going to be an I formation in the backfield here for the Falcons. Long count. And handoff straight ahead to the fullback. No yardage on the carry. Maybe a pickup of 1 on the play.
Definitely a collective effort by the defensive front for BFA, spearheaded by number 75, Kyle Carpenter. So good job there by the front four of BFA.
That was Andrew LaFleur on the carry for the Falcons. Again, minimal gain, maybe 1.
And look how big Carpenter is. I mean, number 75 for BFA. He's head and shoulders above everybody else on that team.
Again, I formation in the backfield here. Run under center, snap, handoff again, straight ahead, and again going nowhere. The Falcons having problem on the front offensive line. Again, LaFleur nowhere to run.
Number 60, Chris Carswell in on that tackle, as was number 75 again for BFA, Kyle Carpenter. But very similar to the first play, Tate. Just no room to run for North Country.
So 3rd and long, call it 3rd and 8 at the at the Falcon 22-yard line here for North Country. Again, I formation. There's a snap, going to be handoff to, it's going to be an option play on the quarterback keeper, and takes it up for the first down, Grody.
Yeah, it was a nice play. It was good fake where he was able to free some of the BFA defenders by riding the fullback, pulls the ball out, goes end around, makes a nice cut upfield, Tate, and basically takes what BFA gives him for opportunity.
Saw quarterback Ben Bouffard a number of years ago run that play to perfection for North Country.
Absolutely. He was the king for several years here in the North Country.
First down here for the Falcons at their own 34-yard line. Aaron Groden up under center, takes a snap, going to be again keeper once again, and at the line of scrimmage, Groden for a pickup of maybe 2 on the carry.
The only problem with that play is what we just saw there is, you can fool the defense some of the time, but when, you only have 4 or 5 plays a game where you can execute that and keep the defense frozen. Now he's going to have a dot on his back the whole game.
So although the Falcons run out of the eye, almost like a wishbone-type offense here for North Country. Again, a snap, and it's going to be a handoff straight ahead to the fullback. Again, minimal yardage for LaFleur. Maybe a pickup of 1. It's going to set up a 3rd and 5 here for the Falcons.
Another good job there by the BFA linemen. BFA seems to be controlling the line of scrimmage, which is happened all year. Every snap I've seen this year, Tate, BFA has controlled the line of scrimmage. So anytime you can do that, you're going to be ultra successful.
Jim Mickle splits out wide to the near side. Again, I formation in the backfield. Groden takes the snap. Going to be a handoff to the tailback. Has the first down, and Moore takes it outside. That's Cook. And Cook has the first down into BFA territory at the Bob White 49.
That was an open field tackle by number 31, Pete Manahan, and a good tackle it was because if he gets by Manahan, he's got some serious yards and maybe even a touchdown. So good open field tackle there by number 31, Peter Manahan.
First and 10 here for the Falcons at the Bob White 49-yard line. Groden under center. Takes a snap, gonna hand off. Nowhere in the backfield, going nowhere. I think he's looking to hand off to his fullback, and
correct me if I'm wrong, but there seems to be some interference, Tate, at the line of scrimmage where the quarterback from North Country's getting bumped a lot, and I think it's holding up his handoff from being clean.
Well, you're right, Chris, and it certainly happened on that case. He did actually get the handoff to LaFleur in the backfield, but again, that's going to be a loss of 3 on the play. Kyle Paulette splits out wide on the far side of the field. Again, I formation. Groden up under center. There's a snap. Takes it to the far side of the field. Looking under heavy pressure and taken down for a huge loss of 10 yards.
Good pursuit there by the BFA D. Number 51 in on that tackle for BFA, Derek Hungerford. And, that whole right side of the BFA line just broke through their blocks and was able to tackle number 22 for North Country, Aaron Groden. Like you said, Tate, 10 yards into his backfield.
Pushes North Country all back to their own 39, so call it 3rd and 20 here for the Falcons, who have yet to go to the air. Brody Jash splits out wide to the near side. There's a snap and passing and complete, but well short of the first down to Kyle Paulette. To his own 49.
It was a good play because it was, Groening stood in the pocket. He threw the ball. I think the ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage, but the receiver for North Country still had the presence to hang with it, catch it, and as it ended up, it was 12 yards short of the first down.
Chris Cook to punt here for the Falcons. Ryan Jacobs to return for BFA. He'll stand at his own 30. High short kick for the Falcons. Going to bounce at the Bob White 30. And takes a small North Country roll where it's going to be down at the Bob White 26-yard line.
Good job there by Jacobs, just backing away from a punt that really wasn't going to go anywhere. BFA gets good field position at the, it looks like the BFA 27-yard line. So I'm seeing a lot of smart plays this year, and that's just a case in point, Tate, where, the punt returner recognizes the fact that he's going to catch the ball in traffic if he tries to catch it.
0-0 our score, 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter of play. Bob White offense out on the field for the first time this evening. Root in motion, there's a snap. Corrigan back to pass, fires and hits Root, who turns it upfield, has the first down and more, still on his feet to the 50, to the 45, Falcon, and finally pushed out of bounds.
Nice job there by Josh Corrigan. Little touch pass out to Cody Root. He has plenty of time to throw the ball. You can see where he's putting the ball out there for Cody, a very catchable ball, Tate. Not one of these, rushed throws, and that's what we're seeing this year with Josh Corrigan.
Call that a 20-yard pass completion from Corrigan to Root. Pro set formation in the backfield, ball spotted at the Falcon 49. Corrigan under center takes a snap, rolls on the near side, again looking downfield under heavy pressure, steps up and trying to get loose, and still manages to break free, turns upfield, and still on his feet to the 45, the 40, and out of bounds. Terrific run by quarterback Josh Corrigan, breaking free from a sack.
That was all Josh Corrigan there, Tate, as he dodged a couple of defenders in the backfield. Quite honestly, I thought the refs were going to call the play dead, because I thought he was in the grass, but he kind of wiggled his way out. Josh is a big, strong kid, and he goes around end and cuts it upfield for close to first down yardage.
Josh Corrigan listed at 6'2", 190 pounds, and
he's all of that.
He is. Tough to bring down.
Correction, it's second and short.
Second and short. They're going to say he went out of bounds just short of the first down. So Corrigan, here we go, under center. Lawler in motion. There's a snap. Going to be handoff. Actually back to pass once again on the fake and complete to Root, who has the first down to the 30, to the 25, still on his feet, and all the way down to the North Country 18-yard line.
I absolutely love Coach Murray's play selection right now. Josh Corrigan is rolling out right now. He's got a lot of confidence. He's throwing the ball. He's opening things up, Tate, and that is going to pay huge dividends for this running game in the second half.
It's going to set up a 1st and 10 once again for the Bob Whites. Ball at the North Country 19-yard line. Ryan Jacobs split out wide to the near side. Miles Lawler split out wide on the far side. Corrigan takes a snap, again back to pass, looking for Jacobs in the end zone. He fires it, it is incomplete out of the outstretched arms of Jacobs.
Jacobs, you know, he didn't have to jump on that particular play. All he had to do was kind of run under the ball. I think he jumped a little bit too premature, and as a result, unable to make the count. But at any rate, you know, he could have caught that ball. That was a catchable ball.
It's going to set up a 2nd and 10 here. Ball at the 19.
2nd and 10, BFA from the North Country 20.
Corrigan takes a snap again, looking to pass. Fires slant across the middle, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete.
That was the first pass attempt where North Country was able to get their hands on a Josh Corrigan pass. And actually, North Country did a nice job there. They got their hands in the air and knocked it right down.
Going to set up a 3rd and 10 here for the Bob Whites. Again, 0-0 our score, 6:14 remaining here in the first quarter. Bob White's first offensive drive here of the game. Bud Handy splits out wide to the near side. There's a snap, going to be handoff straight ahead to Manning. Nick Manning breaks free, and Manning in for a Bob White touchdown. 19-yard touchdown run by the fullback, Nick Manning.
Number 34, Nick Manning, just takes a nice hole off tackle, Tate, and he just explodes through the line of scrimmage. Once he's in the secondary, he's a big, strong kid. He's probably 6'2". He's got to be close to 210, 220 pounds. And I'll tell you what, for a one-on-one open field tackle, that's going to be a difficult task for any defensive back.
So the Bob Whites send out Hungerford, or keep Hungerford actually out there, I should say, to attempt a PAT. The kick is up under pressure, and it is good. So our score with 6:08 remaining here in the first quarter, it's BFA 7, North Country 0. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Tate Brooks and Chris Wood at the Collins Pearly Sports Center. 7-0 our score. BFA here halfway through the first quarter of play.
And that opening drive for BFA, Tate, a good mix of running plays and also passing plays. And, you know, Josh Corrigan showed a lot of poise in the pocket. He was able to scramble his way for a first down, or a close to first down yardage, and then executed a couple of great passes.
Line drive kick going to be fielded by the near side man, turning upfield and stutter stepping his way all the way to the 35-yard line. That's Chris Cook. 30-yard line, excuse me.
Of course, the other thing going against North Country right now is BFA scoring first. They gain that much more confidence now as they go out for their second series of plays.
Again, North Country faced a potent South Burlington squad last week, and unfortunately for the Falcons, that one was done by halftime.
Yeah, so again, South Burlington, one of those teams like BFA, very strong, very deep, and, you know, should be one of the better teams in the league this year.
Groden under center, takes a snap. Option play to the far side of the field, turns it up on the keeper, and caught from behind and ripped down.
Number 51, Derek Hungerford on that tackle. So good pursuit there by Derek as he just wraps up and throws the quarterback to the ground. Number 22, that's Aaron Groden. So, you know, good job by him, number 51.
It's going to set up a 2nd and 6. Falcons break the huddle. Again, I formation here. Grown, long count. Again, keeper to the near side under heavy pressure on the option play. Turns it upfield, dives forward, going to be close to a Falcon first down.
Yeah, good. That was good run there by number 22, Groden, for North Country. He could have been easily tackled in the backfield, but he kept his feet moving. He went through the line of scrimmage and found a little bit of an opening and dove his way to first down yardage. So, good gutsy play there.
Lenny's Shoe and Apparel is proud to support high school sports and always glad to fit you right in brands like Carhartt, Columbia, and New Balance, and many more. Visit Lenny's in the Highgate Shopping Plaza in St. Albans. Here we go, 1st and 10. Groening under center, takes a snap, handoff to his fullback straight ahead. LaFleur, who's taken down. Maybe a pickup of 2 for the fullback.
Yeah, LaFleur had about a 2-yard gain. You were right, Tate. And then the BFA pursuit just came in and wrapped him up and almost threw him back another 2 yards. So his pursuit will give him about a 2-yard gain.
Sets up a 2nd and 8.
Or his forward progress, I should say.
Joe Moore will split out wide to the near side of the field here for the Falcons. Groden up under center, I formation once again. There's the snap. Hand off to the second man through, and Chris Cook still on his feet, finally taken down, just short of the first down. Nice pickup of 6 yards.
Give the North Country backs credit. I mean, they're moving their feet. They're hitting the line of scrimmage hard, and although they're outweighed and outmanned up on that line of scrimmage, they're getting some tough yards.
It's going to be 3rd and a short 2 here for the Falcons. Brody Jash splits out wide to the near side here for the Falcons. I formation. Groden, long count, there's a snap. Met in the backfield once again. Hungerford all over LaFleur, and Chris, we saw once again that bumping into each other between the quarterback and the fullback.
Yeah, I mean, timing is so important, especially in that wishbone or I formation where you're working off the fake to the fullback, and when that doesn't go well, the whole play, can be aborted. So
called a loss of 3 on the play. Cook the punt here. Bad snap. He gets it down under pressure. High end over end kick to Ryan Jacobs, who fields at the 25. Turns it upfield, has a bit of a seam, and takes it to the outside to the 45. Still on his feet to the 40, and taken down all the way to the North Country 34-yard line. Nice punt return by Ryan Jacobs.
Ryan Jacobs, number 81, and there's that confidence we were talking about where Jacobs goes into a pile of North Country players. Instead of just falling and taking what he gets, he's looking to make something happen. He breaks out of the scrum and goes to the other side of the field where he finds open yards, makes a nice cut, and turns probably a 10-yard gain into a 50-yard gain. So great job there by Jacobs.
2:51 remaining here in the first quarter, 7-0 BFA. Brandon splits out wide on the near side. Corrigan under center, there's a snap, handoff straight ahead, bouncing off a tackle, that's Manning. Manning still on his feet, tough running, and finally taken down out to the 25-yard line.
I tell you, I've been very, very impressed with number 34 for BFA, Nick Manning. All year in the games that I've been able to watch, he has gotten some real tough yards. And, boy, he does not quit. When he gets in the secondary of the opposing teams, he just runs over people.
Keeps those legs chugging along. Going to set up a 2nd and 1 here for the Bob Whites.
Reminds me a little bit of that play where Earl Campbell ran over one of those secondary guys from, was it the Steelers?
Wow.
Can't remember the opposing team, but I'll tell you what.
There's the snap. Corrigan back to pass again, firing, looking in the end zone, and incomplete. Again, looking for Jacobs. And we do have a whistle on the field. There's a flag on the far side of the field. Looks to be in the Falcons secondary at their own 20-yard line. We're going to have an ineligible receiver down here field for the Bob Whites, so that's going against BFA.
Yeah, Josh Corrigan just aired one out on that play, and not really a catchable ball for Manning, but Josh Corrigan's arm strength should not be challenged here or questioned, because he can get the ball down there, and I would love to see BFA in a situation where they can start throwing the ball downfield instead of some of these rollout passes.
Well, last week, for those who didn't have the opportunity to watch the game, he actually hit Ryan Jacobs deep on a nice 20-yard flag pattern, dropping back. So
those are the types of plays that I'd love to see BFA start to execute.
2nd and 6 here for the Bob Whites. There's the snap, going to be handed off straight ahead. And Cody Root breaks free. he stutter steps his way, and he's free to the 10, and touchdown BFA, Cody Root. 20-yard touchdown run.
Cody Root, a man amongst boys as he breaks through the line of scrimmage. And you know, the other thing about Cody is that, Cody's not doing things just based on speed and strength. He's setting his blocks up. Open field running, he's, easily been the best player on the field throughout this season. And I think if he allows his BFA blockers to execute and stuff like that, he's going to go through the secondary untouched.
The PAT attempt here for the Bobwhites. Josh Hungerford's kick is up, and it's no good. So our score with 1 minute 57 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. It's BFA 13, North Country 0. You're listening to BFA Bobwhite Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone. Tace Brooks with Chris Wood at the Collins Pearly Sports Center. All BFA so far in the first quarter, 13-0.
13-0, and boy, I'll tell you what, it's hard to believe that North Country's going to stop BFA at all. By the time this one's over, it could be 60-0. But give Cody Root a lot of credit, setting up his blocks, accelerating when he needs to, using strength when he needs to. He's really the complete package when you're talking about high school running backs.
Josh Hungerford to kick away. High end over end kick. It's going to be bounced at the 10-yard line, and turning it upfield is Chris Cook. Cook has a seam. Cook breaks free to the 40 and bounces off a Bobwhite player and down to his own 43-yard line.
Tackled there by number 10, Bud Handy, for BFA, and good return. He saw the middle seam there. He had a seam up the middle, and he just exploded in that area, and that's where he found the yardage.
Cook showing some good speed and nice little spurt there to find that seam. So here we go. North Country offense back out on the field here for the third time in the first quarter. Down 13-0. Groden up under center. Long count here for the Falcons. There's the snap. It's going to be an option here to the near sideline. Groden turns it up and taken down. Ridden out of bounds finally, but call it a 2-yard pickup for the quarterback.
Number 51, Derek Hungerford, and number 25, Matt Munier, in on the tackles amongst others for BFA. And again,
Minier, pronounced Minier.
Minier. I'm sorry, did I say Munier? Minier. 1-yard gain on the play.
So we call it a 2nd and 9 here for the Falcons.
We've got 1:14 left in the first quarter.
Poulette splits out wide on the far side of the field. Groening, again, option play to the far side, and does an option out and ridden down out to the 50-yard line on the far side of the field. And Chris, that almost looked like a forward pass.
I was going to say, Tate, I think that was a forward pass, and had the running back missed it, in my opinion, it would have been incomplete.
Kyle Poulet on the reception. Sets up a 3rd and 3. Ball right at midfield, right at the 50.
That's one way to get your quarterback ratings up, is those short little 2-yard passes.
It's going to be an I formation in the backfield here for North Country. Groening takes a snap. Hand out, going to be a quarterback keeper on the far side. No, it was still a fullback. Sorry about that. And he's going to be just short of the first down.
BFA converging, number 53, Michael Lumen in on that tackle for BFA. And did we have flags on the field?
Didn't see a flag, but they are talking to the Bobwhite defense here, Chris.
Yeah.
Talking to Captain Derek Hungerford for the Bobwhites.
I think North Country is going to be penalized on this particular play. Perhaps, well, of course, the yardsticks are going the other way now.
Well, they Sticks are being moved in regards to the first down, and
referee looks like he's scolding the the BFA bench.
Yeah, well, it's a first down, so
anyway,
we'll try to get some clarification on that maybe at the half. So indeed, it is a first down here for the Falcons. And Chris, they have been able to move the football a bit here on the Bobwhite's.
A little bit. You know, some of their play selection has been good. Good combination of around the end and up the middle. But yeah, they've been a little successful.
Groden again, straight ahead to the fullback, barrels his way ahead for the first down and more. LaFleur all the way down to the Bobwhite 20-yard line. Nice 20-yard fullback to the Andrew LaFleur.
Andrew LaFleur with some tough yards there, and he literally carried about 3 or 4 BFA defenders with him for maybe up to 10 yards, and that was all blood and guts on that particular carry.
And the horn will sound, and that will do it for the first quarter of play. Our score, it's BFA 13, North Country 0. You're listening to BFA Bobwhite Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone, to the Collins Pearly Sports Center, where the Bobwhites lead the North Country Falcons 13-0. Chris, we just learned during that first quarter intermission that indeed what the confusion was is the officials actually blew the play dead. Quarterback Aaron Groden faked the handoff to the fullback. Indeed, it wasn't fake. The fullback did not have it, and he had the keeper picked up the first down, but the officials blew it dead thinking the fullback had it.
Yeah, on that particular occasion, the fake was too good, and it drew the officials in.
So 1st and 10, North Country, deepest penetration so far tonight at the Bobwhite 20. Groden takes a snap, handoff, that keeper straight up the middle, and still on his feet, Groden carrying 2 Bobwhite defenders all the way down to the Bobwhite 1.
I'll tell you what, I give the North Country Falcons a lot of credit. I didn't think they had that much skill in their backfield, but they've had a couple of kids that have gotten some tough yards. On that particular play, Groden absolutely froze the BFA D and waited for a hole to open up and then just ran down the field when he got that hole.
Basically following the block off his fake to the fullback. So it's going to set up a 1st and goal here for the Falcons. Ball spotted at the BFA 2-yard line. Joe Moore splits out wide to the far side of the field. Again, I formation. There's a snap, quarterback keep, and Groden is in for the touchdown. Aaron Groden, 2-yard keeper for the Falcons.
Yeah, it was good tough running by Groden, and he capped off that drive that went 50, 60 yards, Tate, and good job by them. Putting together a score when they absolutely needed one.
See if North Country has a kicking game. Looks like they will go for 2.
North Country going for 2.
Groden up under center, again, I formation in the backfield. There's a snap. Going to be a keeper to the far side of the field, and taken down in the backfield, going nowhere is Groden.
I don't know if there was a missed block there on that play, Tate, but number 34 for BFA, Nick Manning, just came right through the line of scrimmage, not even touched, wrapped up the ball carrier and threw him down for a loss. So
we'll take a quick timeout. 11:30 remaining here in the first half. BFA 13, North Country 6. You're listening to Bobwhite Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA.
kickoff for BFA.
Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks with Chris Wood here at the Collins Pearly Sports Center. The Bob Whites with a 13-6 lead.
Hey, if North Country can put together a good defensive stand here and do something with the ball in their next possession, you know, they're right back in this ball game, Tate.
Line drive kick. It's going to be fielded and taken up to the 30-yard line and finally wrapped up, taken down. That's Ryan Jacobs on the return out to the BFA 37-yard line.
Good hands there by Jacobs, taking a kind of a squib kick type of kickoff by North Country, and Jacobs scoops it up and is able to advance the ball another 10 or 15 yards upfield.
Could have been a shortstop out there.
Absolutely.
So 1st and 10, the Bob White offense firing on all cylinders thus far. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so far this year, I mean, BFA has certainly given up points this year by the opposition, but nobody's been able to stop their offense.
Miles Lawler in motion. There's a snap, going to be handoff, and cutting his way free is Root. Root stutter steps his way to the outside, and into the 30, and to the 20. Root trying to turn on the afterburner, stiff arms, one man, and Root into the end zone. Touchdown, BFA! Cody Root, 60-yard touchdown run.
That was unbelievable. That was a combination of good block following, great speed into the open field, a beautiful move. Did you see him juke that kid about 20 yards downfield? Left the kid just basically standing still.
His cleats are still out there.
Cleats and other equipment are still there, which we won't mention. And then he gets down the goal line, stiff arms the last remaining North Country Falcon, and basically buys himself enough space to get into the end zone. And I'll tell you what, just a great run all around.
Bob Whites will go for 2 here, up 19-6. There's a snap. Corrigan looking to throw under heavy pressure, fires in the end zone, and it is caught! Who comes up? Oh, incomplete. 2 Bob White players fighting for the football. The ball falls incomplete.
That was tipped several times by 2 BFA potential receivers, and I actually think it was a good 5 seconds after it was touched before it actually hit the ground. So close one there.
11:13 remaining in the second quarter. It's 19-6 Bob Whites. You're listening on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA.
I'm not good at the defensive end, but the offensive end. You got shut in, you need to talk.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Collins Pearly Sports Center. Bob Whites lead the Falcons 19-6.
Yeah, that our statistician to the right of us told us that drive took all of 17 seconds, Tate, from start to finish. Featuring a Cody Root run of about 60 yards. So a great run by Cody Root.
High end overhand kick. It's going to bounce at the North Country 20 and trying to turn it upfield and getting nowhere. Number 27, Joey Mayday.
We should mention on our, we just got a little bit of feedback from some of the people walking into the game late. My prediction was about 60 points for BFA, but it is not 60-6. It's 19-6 BFA with 11:09 left in the second quarter. But certainly BFA's offense is in position to put that type of point on the board tonight.
Groden takes a snap. And actually, Groden fell down. He looked to hand off to his fullback there. Maybe call it a loss of 1 on the play.
Groden keeps the ball, loss of 1.
Credit to BFA. You know, all those miscues, you can credit the BFA defense for creating that those miscues and maybe winning the battle at the line of scrimmage, forcing the center back a little bit, forcing the handoff to not be as precise, forcing the snap to be off a little bit.
Again, I formation. There's a snap handoff to the tailback who bursts three, trying to break free. That's Cook on the carry, able to pick up about 5.
Again, Nick Manning in on the tackle. Manning, doing a nice job in the absence of one of BFA's big defensive kids, number 42, Matt Teakin. Don't forget, Matt Teakin, arguably one of their best defensive players, period. And BFA has not had the advantage of having him this year.
Quarterback Aaron Groden, 3rd and 5 here for the Falcons. Again, I formation. There's a snap. And straight ahead and bursting free for the first down. Didn't catch the number. It looked like 39. Andrew LaFleur needed 5 yards, able to pick up 6.
LaFleur, showing us a lot tonight. Tate getting some real tough yards against, a BFA D that's, playing a pretty good ball game.
The Falcons break the huddle. Here we go. I formation once again. 1st and 10. Ball at the Falcon 32. There's a snap. Going to be a quarterback option. And able to break free is Groden. He dives forward and able to pick up 3 yards. But some good slick moves by Groden prevented a loss on the play.
Yeah, number 54, Dan Hansen for BFA, broke into the backfield and really had Groden wrapped up. Was in position to throw him for a 5 or 6 yard loss. Groden kind of shook him off with a little bit of a shoulder fake, and and turned something into nothing, or nothing into something.
Calling a pickup of 4.
Something like that.
something.
So, something.
2nd and 6. There's a snap. Straight ahead is the fullback. Fumble is loose on the ground. Bob White signaling they have it. No official signal by the officials.
I believe they do, Tate, as I saw one of the BFA players scoop it up, unless they called him, yes.
And they do a delayed call by the officials, and it's a Bob White football.
Yeah, the Bob White, the Bob White defenders now are kind of reaching in for the ball and trying to force it free. And they're taking a very aggressive approach once the running back breaks the initial line of scrimmage. They're kind of going in there with hands and shoulders to make that tackle.
So our first turnover of the evening. And the Bob White offense will take the field once again. Nick Manning in at fullback, Cody Root at tailback. They're in a pro set formation. Corrigan takes a snap, back to pass, looking downfield, fires, and hits Root out of the backfield to the 20. Stutter step, still on his feet, and finally running down out around the Falcon 12-yard line.
The best you can do with Cody Root is just what North Country did at that point in time. Give him his 10 yards and force him out of bounds. Take an angle on him, contain him. But because as soon as he makes that cut upfield, he's gone.
They're going to say he stepped out at the 14. So 1st and 10, and the Bob White offense looking to put another 6 up on the board here. 2 receivers set on the far side of the field. That's Jacobs and Cody Root. Manning, the lone man in the backfield. Minya heads in motion, a handoff straight ahead to Nick Manning, cuts it to the outside, straight ahead. Touchdown BFA. Nick Manning, 14-yard touchdown run.
Nick Manning right off tackle, Tate, and I do not think he was even touched, which is a tribute to that BFA line that did a great job executing their blocks and holding them. With 7:58 left in the first half, it's now BFA 25, the Falcons 6, and BFA setting up for an extra point.
Corey Parent heads out onto the field here for the Bob Whites. He'll hold for Hungerford. High snap, Parent gets it down under heavy pressure. The kick is up, and it is good. So our score with 7:58 remaining here in the second quarter, it's BFA 26, North Country 6. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone, to the Collins Pearly Sports Center. Tate Brooks with Chris Wood. All BFA leading the Falcons 26-6.
Somehow, North Country's got to find a way to keep the ball out of BFA's grasp for any period of time, because whether it's 17 seconds or a 5-minute drive, BFA seems to be doing it all right on offense tonight.
Both on the ground and through the air.
Yeah, I mean, Corrigan's, he's rolling out. He's in the pocket now, which, I was going to say earlier I'd like to see Josh in the pocket more. And tonight he's showing some pocket presence. He's been able to scramble a little bit, which, when's the last time we saw a BFA quarterback scrambling for 15 or 20 yards?
Ball is loose, still on the ground, and it's loose, and the Bobwhite's coming up with it! I believe that could have been number 40, Adam Frazier, getting downfield for the Bobwhites, and North Country not able to field that bouncing football off the leg of Josh Hungerford.
Well, that's the second Falcon turnover that BFA's capitalized on, and giving the ball to BFA inside the 25-yard line, not a good thing for North Country.
North Country unable to stop this Bobwhite offense thus far this evening, and they head right back out onto the field. Two receivers set once again on the far side of the field. That's Damian Brannon and Cody Root. Root will head in motion. There's a snap. Corrigan rolling in the near side, fires and hits Miles Lawler. Lawler turns it up. He stutter steps, makes a defender miss. Lawler trying to dive in and take it out at the 1-yard line. So Miles Lawler trying to put on a few different moves down there.
Miles Lawler doing a little pro ball reach there as he tries to go over the corner of the end zone with his hand in the ball. And but a good job there by Miles, A, catching the pass, B, turning it upfield, making a couple of nice moves, and extending his body, Tate, which, very close to being a touchdown.
So Lawler trying to get into the end zone, stopped just 1 yard short. Pro set formation in the backfield. There's a snap, and the ball is loose, and it looks like Corrigan able to pounce on that football. So a tough exchange between the center and the quarterback.
Yeah, it looked like Josh might have pulled out a little bit quick, and of course he pulled out without the ball, and he had to fall on it real quickly to preserve the fumble. But a little miscue there at the line of scrimmage by BFA.
Clock will continue to run. 7:15 remaining here in the second quarter. 26-6. BFA.
All that does is give BFA more room to operate, though, Tate.
Jordan Bristol will split out wide on the far side. Cody Root heads in motion in the backfield, and looks like a bit of confusion on the play. Nick Manning, I believe, on the carry. Stops just short of the end zone, down to, well, I'm going to say the 4-yard line.
Number 50, John Morin, on the tackle for North Country there. So, good pursuit by Morin and a good tackle.
Going to set up a 3rd and 5. So call that no gain on that carry. The Bobwhites lost 4 yards on that bad snap.
3rd and 5 for BFA.
So 3rd and 5. Bud Handy will split out wide on the far side of the field. Corrigan under center. There's a snap, going to be a quick pitch out the Root. Root stutter steps, turns it upfield, he's in for the touchdown, BFA. Cody Root, 5-yard touchdown run.
Cody Root, made the nice catch on the quick pitch, let Bud Handy kick out the cornerback and create a lane for him upfield, made the cut, and then he just broke to the outside for an easy 3-yard touchdown score.
One of Root's shortest runs of the year, shortest touchdown runs of the year.
That might have been his shortest run of the year. But make no mistake, he'd still be running if the field was a mile long.
Parent to hold, the kick is up, and it is good. So our score with 6:18 remaining in the second quarter, it's BFA 33, North Country 6. You're listening to BFA Bobwhite Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone, to the Collins Pearly Sports Center. 33-6 BFA over the North Country Falcons.
6:18 left in the first half, and the game, very much in control of BFA right now. You wonder how soon Coach Murray goes to his second-string offense and, doesn't risk injury from the likes of Josh Corrigan or Cody Root or Miles Lawler or any of these kids that see a lot of action with the ball.
Bob White's have another home game next week. I believe it's actually homecoming against Spalding. Hungerford line drive kick going to be fielded by Cook at his own 15, turns it upfield to the 20, and Cook is wrapped up and taken down all the way around the 30-yard line.
Spalding, another one of those programs that used to be Division I and migrated to Division II, really hasn't had the support from the youth program like we have had here in St. Albans, and I think has really struggled with their athletics.
They had one really good football season a few years back. They had an excellent receiver. A few people may have read about recently. Who goes to the University of New Hampshire.
There you go.
Timeout by North Country. Merchants Bank, independent and local since 1849, offering banking and lending services to Vermont's community of individuals and businesses.
But I think the key here, Tate, is what do you have as a foundation program? If you've got a youth program and you've got people in the community that are feeding that program and getting kids excited about football, as they get older and get up to high school, you can put together successful programs. Certainly in a town like St. Albans. This is look at the stands. They're packed.
Probably 1,500 to 2,000 people here up at the Collins Pearly Sports Center, and you're right, Chris. Another jam-packed crowd here. Nowhere to sit. You cannot find a seat here. You'll have to stand and watch the game.
This is a football community. Always has been, and there's absolutely no reason why teams like BFA shouldn't be successful year in and year out.
Of course. Should also mention the Bob White's 3-0 this year. So are the St. Albans Steelers, who are the feeder program for the BFA team. Longtime coach Rob Coffey deserves a lot of credit. Steelers been around for about 20-plus years now.
20-plus years, and I don't really recall any of those 20-plus years being a down year for them.
Groden takes a snap, and he'll take a keeper to the far side of the field, turns it up, and finally ridden out of bounds. But Groden able to pick up 6 on the play. And Chris, quarterback Dan Groden has a pretty good command for this North Country offense. He is able, again, the Falcons only have 6 points up on the board, but they have picked up a number of first downs here in the first half.
They have, and every team has had a little bit of success moving the ball against BFA this year. I think that's probably the one area that BFA's got to work on going into the latter part of the season. But give North Country credit; they've had some tough yards gained.
Tanis Rich splits out wide on the near side here for the Falcons. There's the snap, going to be quarterback option play, pitches it out to Cook. Cook stiff arms one man, and he's free to the 40. Cook breaking to the 30, to the 20. Cook is going to go for the score. Touchdown North Country.
Touchdown North Country.
That was good.
65-yard touchdown run by Chris Cook.
Great job there by North Country. First of all, drawing again the defense in, freezing the defensive line and the linebackers, and then kicking out the pitch to Cook, who caught a nice pitch in stride, Tate, and then just broke around the corner, and after that he was gone.
So North Country showing some fight here offensively. Falcons will go for 2. Bodie Jash splits out wide on the far side of the field. Again, I formation here for the Falcons. Groen takes a snap, rolls out to the far side of the field, looking into the end zone, fires his pass, and incomplete. And the 2-point conversion will fail. Our score with 5:20 remaining here in the first half, it's BFA 33, North Country 12. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA.
Deep receive for the ball boy from Matt Union and Ryan Jacobs.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks with Chris Wood. 5:20 remaining here in the first half. BFA 33, North Country 12.
5:20 left in this first half. And like you said, 33-12. Again, the game comfortably in the hands of BFA. We'll see what they can do on this possession.
Kick is fielded by Minier at his own 10, turns it upfield to the 20. He has a seam to the 30. He breaks free, picks up a nice block to the 40. Minier still on his feet. He's to the 40. Minier to the 30. And Minier is going to take it all the way for a BFA touchdown. 80-yard kickoff return for Matt Minier.
Matt Minier, number 25 for BFA. On a great return, again, exploited the seam that North Country gave him up the middle, but then the seam closed down, Tate, and he broke a few tackles and kept his feet moving. And that's the key to the successful runs, is keeping your feet moving even when you think you're going to get tackled. The defensive team sometimes gives up, and that's when you find that extra strength to break a tackle and bust into the open.
And Chris, the Bob Whites come right back just when the Falcons sniffed maybe a little life. Here's the kick, and it's blocked. So Hungerford's kick is blocked, and we'll hold our thoughts until after this quick timeout. Our sponsors getting their money's worth here in the first half. Our score with 5:05 remaining in the first half. BFA 39, North Country 12. You're listening to the new ESPN 1420 on WRSA. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks with Chris Wood. Late here in the second quarter. It's all BFA, 39-12 over North Country. 39-12, and there's no sign of BFA quitting. Again, we probably will see the second team offense for BFA here shortly. I don't know if we'll see it in the second half or before the second half, but I think Coach Murray's got to get in that mode now where, we're not going to run the score up. We're just going to go out there and execute and get some kids a chance to play. Line drive kicked by Hungerford, going to be fielded by 27, Joey Mayday. And actually, Mayday able to try to find his own seam out to the 48. Ball looked like it popped out, but I think we got a Bob White player down. He gets up. But Mayday on the nice return for the Falcons.
Tackled there by number 54, Dan Hansen, again for the BFA kick team. So, we have seen some we've seen some good runbacks tonight, Tate, and it looks like there's some really good open field runners for both teams. North Country, certainly, when you get their runners in the open field, they've done a real nice job.
It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons at their own 47-yard line. So good field position here for North Country. Groden, long count under the center, takes a snap and takes a keeper here to the near side, trying to turn it up. Has a little seam, squirts free, puts on his arm, and picks up 9 on the carry.
Did you see that? Groden, he cutting it upfield. He's almost knocked to the ground, puts his arm down for support, gains another 5 yards. You can't teach that, Tate. That's just good, hard running, and that's a kid who knows what he wants to do with the ball.
Groden picking up an extra 5 yards by putting that arm down and pushing
Absolutely.
off. Going to be 2nd and short call, 2nd and 1 into Bob White territory. Ball spotted exactly on the Bob White 45-yard line. Joe Moore splits out wide to the near side here for the Falcons. High formation in the backfield. There's a snap and handoff straight ahead to the fullback. Andrew LaFleur picks up the first down out to the Bob White 40-yard line.
Actually, I shouldn't say you can't teach the hand down from your running backs. All coaches stress that big time.
I remember doing it in practice, but you're right. Doing it in practice and doing it in a game are two different things.
But who does it in the game? Nobody.
Number 5, Brody Josh, splits out on the far side of the field here for North Country. Grodin takes the snap straight ahead to the fullback, and LaFleur barrels ahead close to another North Country first down.
Andrew LaFleur, 5'10", 215-pound running back for North Country. Only a sophomore, Tate, so probably a kid that we're going to hear a lot of over the next couple of years.
The Falcons needed 10 yards, and that's what LaFleur provided. Ball spotted right on the Bob White 30-yard line, so the Falcons looking for another score. Joe Moore splits out wide to the far side. There's a snap. Handoff again, straight ahead to LaFleur. He takes a number of Bob Whites forward for a pickup of 6 on the play.
This Falcon team loses 8 seniors this year, so, I mean, they don't get killed by graduation. So there's a lot of junior and sophomores there that they can build on and hopefully be a stronger team in the coming years.
Of course, we noted head coach Bob Davis, been around for a while. He's coached the Shrine team a number of years ago. He's won a championship with North Country, and again, they tend to go in cycles up and down.
Yeah. BFA with 20 seniors on their team, and you know, I want to talk to Coach Carlton about the significance of his seniors.
Hand off to Chris Cook. He has the first down and more all the way down to the Bob White 15-yard line, tackled by a host of Bob White defenders.
You know, in addition to seniors being stronger and more mature physically than some of the underclassmen, they bring a sense of, they bring an attitude to the field, and Coach Duklon and I talked about this in hockey for years, and he always likes his chances based on the team that has more seniors. And
plus, I mean, I would think it helps. You see the end is in sight. There are no more games after your senior year.
Absolutely.
There's a handoff straight ahead and tackled immediately by the Bob White defense. Call that a pickup of 2. 2:20 remaining here in the second quarter of play. It's BFA 39, North Country 12. Casella Waste Management hopes you will do your part to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Casella Waste Management, proud to be a part of our community and support BFA sports.
You certainly have that sense of urgency when you're a senior and wanting to make your last games or your last season count, and you can't get that with the underclassmen.
Long count. There's a snap. Grodin on the keeper on the far near side of the field. Turns it up, breaks free, and taken down to the Bob White 5-yard line. So again, Aaron Grodin took a bit of a pop there, but able to hold on to the football.
Very impressed, Tate, with number 54, Dan Hansen for BFA. He's been in on many tackles tonight, and that particular one was no exception. I mean, he was in there. He's got his face right in the jersey of the North Country Falcons, and he's putting some good hits on him.
Sets up a 3rd and short here for the Falcons. They need probably a yard. Ball spotted at the Bob White 5-yard line. I formation in the backfield. 2 receivers set on the far side of the field. Grodin up under center. Takes a snap. He'll option here to the near side. Turns it up. Dives for the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown North Country. Aaron Grodin on the keeper.
Referee saying that he did break the plane, and it was going to be close. I think BFA did a nice job defensively holding him up at the goal line, but Grodin able to get his shoulders and ball across the plane of the goal line for the touchdown. And with 1:02 left in this first half, it's now BFA 39 and North Country 18.
North Country will go for 2. They have yet to attempt to kick a PAT this evening. Again, I formation. Once again, ball spotted at the 3-yard line. Grodin takes a snap. He rolls out to the far side of the field, turns it up, and he dives into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So Grodin on the keeper, able to, again, slip past the Bob White defense for the score. With 1:02 remaining in the first half, it's BFA 39, North Country 20. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks with Chris Wood here at the Collins Pearly Sports Center. 39-20. Bob White's with the lead. Chris, North Country still huddle up on the far side of the field after that touchdown.
Yeah, they're getting themselves together. 39-20 and 19-point spread here. And
do you think possibly onside kick with there's a minute 02, as we said, in the first half? You're down by 19, or do you kick away and try to hold that BFA offense? Because that BFA offense, even though it's only just a minute left, they can move the football down the field quickly.
Plenty of time for a touchdown for BFA. I think you onside kick it. I think you just throw everything, including the kitchen sink at BFA right now. You try every gadget play you possibly can.
And the only reason I thought of that, quite frankly, is because the amount of time they spent on the sideline.
Absolutely, and I would agree with that. And that would be a very good call if you're correct, but that could very well happen.
BFA has their hands teams out there, so indeed that's what head coach Jeff Murray is expecting as well. And here's the kick, a line drive kick. It's going to go back, and it's going to be fielded by number 33, Stephen Minchin. Minchin will just fall on the football at his own 15-yard line.
Yeah, Minchin kind of bobbled it a little bit, and he did absolutely the right thing. Fall on it, let your offense take over from there with 59.8 seconds left. It's plenty of time for BFA to work some more magic.
Well, Bob White's start this drive off in their own 15. Their worst field position of the evening. And again, Bob White's up by 19 points here. See what head coach Jeff Murray decides to do. Quarterback Josh Corrigan out there. He's up under center, pro set formation in the backfield here for the Bob Whites. And he'll take a knee.
Well, that's a classy play. At this point in the game, I think Coach Murray might not want to rub it in. I mean, and this game isn't over, but you know what? BFA has him well in control, and for them to just kind of want to go to halftime.
Plus, you never know. I mean, you're at your own 15-yard line. If you have a bad snap, a bad handoff, and if North Country is able to put one more in before the half, then they start to get some momentum.
That's a good point, and so I kind of like this call. Just go to half, up 19 points, and then start the second half fresh.
Corrigan will take one more knee, 27 seconds on the clock, and that should probably do it. Don't expect the Bob Whites will have to snap it anymore. And the Bob Whites on the sideline will jog into the field. 13 seconds, 10 seconds. And that should do it for the end of the first half. So our score at the half, it's BFA 39, North Country 20. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Championship games, but that ring's still eluding them.
Yeah.
Well, and after that, you have Fairhaven, Linden, and Burlington all 1-1 in Division II, followed by North Country, Bellows Falls, and Spalding. They're all winless as we get ready to start the second half of play. Back deep for the Bob Whites, number 33, Sheldon Michelin. There's a kick. It's going to be fielded by Ryan Jacobs at the 30, turning it upfield, takes it outside, and dives ahead forward to the 40-yard line. So, Chris, head coach Jeff Murray had the hands team back out there to start the second half as well.
Yeah, just in case North Country was going to pull something right off the bat. Coach Murray had all the good hands on the field and able to negotiate that kick and start his offense. We'll have to watch Tate to see how many of his starters he actually starts in the second half.
Well, Bob White's up by 19, 39-20 here. Quarterback Josh Corrigan up under center, pro set formation. Miles Lawler split out wide to the near side of the field. There's a snap, going to be a handoff to Root. Root takes it outside and hurdles one man, dives forward all the way down to the 45-yard line. A 15-yard pickup by the tailback.
Yeah, again, good job following his blocks, making the cut when he needs to make the cut. A lot of running backs, they have their first instinct is to break outside and head towards the sidelines, Tate. But the real yardage is that 90-degree cut on the sweep and go right up the field and break some tackles that way.
Sets up in 1st and 10 here for the Bob Whites. Nick Manning in at fullback. As we mentioned, Cody Root in at tailback. There's a snap, handoff straight ahead to Manning. He stutter steps, he breaks free. He has the first and out, takes it outside to the 20, to the 10. Nick Manning in for a BFA Bob White touchdown. 45-yard touchdown run.
Nick Manning again breaks one tackle at the line of scrimmage and goes untouched for about 45 yards, Tate. And again, a good combination of size and strength and speed, as we saw Nick Manning in the open field really kind of run away from the pack.
Something you don't normally see from one of your fullbacks.
Absolutely not. And, you know, it's just another reason why the BFA offense is as good as they are.
Parent in to hold for the Bob Whites. He takes a snap down. The kick is up, and it is good. A long, booming kick by Hungerford. So our score, with 11:16 remaining here in the third quarter, it's BFA 46, North Country 20. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Chris Wood. The Bob Whites taking less than a minute to score on their first possession of the second half to extend their lead to 46-20 over the Falcons of North Country. Hungerford squib kick it. It's going to be fielded by the up man, number 66, Adam Farrar. Tackle down, up around his own 36-yard line.
North Country takes over with 11:09 left in this third quarter. And again, if you're the coach of North Country, Tate, what are you telling your team right now? I mean, it's 46-20. It's.
Hey, with the offense out on the field, the offense has been able to move the football, and they're still in this thing.
So build on the good things.
And you hope that the Bob White offense has a couple of turnovers. Groden takes a snap. Keeper here to the near side, turns it upfield, dives forward, picks up 2 on the carry.
Nice tackle there by number 51, Derek Hungerford. And Derek was, in strong pursuit of the quarterback. Quarterback cuts it upfield and gets behind Hungerford. Instead of giving up, Hungerford follows the play and is able to make the tackle probably 2 yards downfield. So good job there. And again, BFA. The BFA kids seem to be hungry.
Number 80, Joe Moore, splits out wide on the near side here for the Falcons. Again, I formation in the backfield. Groden, long count at the line of scrimmage here. Trying to get the Bob Whites to jump. He hands off straight ahead to his fullback and wrapped up immediately. Going nowhere, Andrew LaFleur.
LaFleur's number is getting called.
And the Bob Whites have. There's actually a fumble on the play. I didn't even see that, Chris.
I didn't either, Tate. I was just getting ready to say LaFleur's number being called a lot tonight, but I think that's actually the second fumble he's given up to BFA. So
the Falcons with their third turnover, although it may only be their second technical. Of course, that one coming on the kickoff where they never really had possession. So the Bob White offense takes the field once again. Josh Corrigan will be up under center. Nick Manning, the lone man, in the backfield. Miles Lawler heads in motion. Here's a snap, handoff to Lawler, turns it upfield, breaks a tackle, trying to fall forward, pushes the pile ahead just a bit, and looks like he'll pick up a couple on the play.
Yeah, that little bit of mix-up at the line of scrimmage there, but Corrigan able to get the handoff to Miles Lawler. Lawler tries to, cut it up and gets a couple yards, but nothing really there for him to run to.
Visit Paquin Motors for Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, and Nissan. New and used cars and trucks. Paquin Auto Park in Franklin Park West in St. Albans. 2nd and 9 here for the Bob Whites. Ball spotted at the Falcon 40-yard line. Pro set formation in the backfield. Minier in motion, and we've got flags flying here. Looks like this one may be coming up against the Bob Whites.
Penalty flag.
Little miscue there. 5-yard motion penalty.
Delay a game penalty.
Delay a game.
Against the Bob Whites. I believe that's the first penalty call against the Bob Whites.
Yeah, actually, BFA's played a very, all year BFA's been fairly disciplined in giving up penalties. And tonight, Tate, you're absolutely right. That's the first one called against BFA.
The Bob White 45.
Second and call it 14. Lawler in motion. There's a handoff straight ahead to Nick Manning. He barrels ahead forward, takes over one North Country defender, all the way in to the 34-yard line. 10, call it maybe 11-yard pickup for the fullback.
Jesse Bennett for North Country was the tackler on that play, and Jesse was giving up about 60 pounds there.
Or the recipient of the hit.
Yeah. Any way you want to package it up. He was the recipient of about giving up 60 pounds and probably about 4 inches.
Going to set up a 3rd and 3 here for the Bob Whites. Again, Manning and Rudin behind quarterback Josh Corrigan. There's a snap handoff again to Manning, who has the first down and more. Cuts it to the outside, still on his feet to the 20, back onto the inside. And Nick Manning's going in for a BFA touchdown. 35-yard touchdown run.
Another great run there by Nick Manning. Very similar to his previous 2 touchdowns, Tate, when you consider the fact that he's met with resistance at the line of scrimmage, strong enough to break a tackle, and then, boom, you get him in the open field, and he shows enough speed. And
it wasn't necessarily straight ahead. He made a couple of different cuts there.
He did. A couple of nice moves and some good speed, and kind of broke away from the pack.
So the PAT by the Bob Whites. Parent to hold, gets the snap down, the kick is up, it's high enough, and it is good. So our score with 8:20 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play, it's BFA 53, North Country 20. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Chris Wood at the Collins Pearly Sports Center. BFA leading the Falcons of North Country 53-20.
Well, it's not 60 points, Tate, but it's getting there. And, certainly BFA doing whatever they want when they want offensively tonight, and that's really been the storyline in this game.
Another squib kick by Hungerford. Again, it's going to take a bounce picked up by the up man, turns it upfield, and wrapped up, taken down to the 38-yard line. Begin to wonder, Chris, with that large lead, if maybe that is the last time we start to see some of the Bob White first stringers out there, at least offensively.
Yeah, I was surprised to even see him start the second half, but certainly now I think you're right, Tate. I think you'll see the second string in there.
So here we go. North Country heads back out, lines up. Brody, Josh splits out wide to the near side. I formation in the backfield. Groden, long count, takes a snap. Going to be a handoff straight ahead by LaFleur. He dives ahead forward, picking up 5 on the carry.
5-yard pickup.
Tate, this is a great opportunity. I mean, Coach Carlton, not real happy with the defensive performance in the first half by the BFA D. This is a great opportunity for BFA to work on the things that they didn't do well in the first half and see if they can shut this North Country team down that has moved the ball against them in the second half.
It's going to set up a 2nd and 7 here. Excuse me, 2nd and 3. There's the snap again. Fumble on the snap. Ball is loose on the ground. And no official signal yet. And it appears that North Country came away with it.
Ball recovered by North Country.
You know, BFA, again, you would think in a lopsided victory that, you know, sometimes you don't get a chance to get challenged and work on certain things. But North Country has done enough things offensively right tonight to warrant some concern for the BFA defense. And, you know, this, again, great opportunity to work on the things that they're not doing well.
Bonnet Supply for Farley Windows and CEO Entry Doors with vinyl siding and more. Bonnet Supply Company, your building and remodeling specialist, Lake Road in St. Albans. Kevin Smith Sports Connection, serving St. Albans and South Burlington. Get connected at Kevin Smith Sports Connection.
We should mention, Tate, we've had some great weather so far this fall for Friday night football, and tonight's another example.
Joe Moore split out wide. There's a snap handoff for the second man through. That's Cook. Cook barrels his way forward to pick up a North Country first down. Bob White Singley have the football again.
Just a question of whether the referee blew.
And they do. Bob White's jumping up and down in another North Country turnover. And Chris, North Country not able to get a break at all here.
You know, the BFA defenders are really reaching in. They're throwing their hands in there. They're trying to jar the ball loose. They're using some tackling techniques that you see in the pros or in college ball.
As far as trying to strip the football loose.
Yeah, absolutely. And so credit the BFA defense with some of those fumble turnovers.
Corrigan takes a snap and falls down. Lost his footing there in the backfield. And up on his feet, and that's certainly everybody in the stands holding their breath with Corrigan down.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is lose a kid like Corrigan or Cody Root or you know, a Nick Manning to a fluke play.
So that's going to set up a second and long. Call it 2nd and 15 here for the Bob Whites. Ball spotted on their own 42. There's a snap, hand off to Root. Root breaks free, stiff arms one man, takes it outside, still on his feet, has the first down and more to the 35 and wrapped up by his head and ripped out of bounds. Very high tackle on that one. Apparently no face mask, but it had to come close, Chris.
Yeah, it looks like didn't get the number, but one of the Falcon defenders just kind of grabbed him from behind and kind of swung him around, was strong enough to swing him around and get him to the ground, but certainly a different way to tackle Cody Root.
By the back of the collar, so to speak. That puts the ball down at the Falcon 31-yard line. Bud Handy will split out wide on the far side of the field. There's the snap, handoff straight ahead and bouncing free, still on his feet and finally wrapped up and taken down. Adam Frazier on the carry.
That's a good look for BFA. Start getting some of these other kids carries, and Adam Frazier, number 40 for BFA. I think that was his first carry of the night, Tate.
It is.
Picked up, what, 5 or 6 yards?
Call it 6 on the carry for Frazier. Is going to set up a 2nd and 4. And quarterback Josh Corrigan will head to the sidelines. And checking in for the Bob Whites, number 7, Corey Parent at quarterback. So here we go. Parent under center, takes a snap. He'll hand off straight ahead and bowling his way forward close to a first down.
Tyler Wimble, I think, number 44.
And I believe it is Wimble hopping around. Looked like he might have hurt his knee, but he is back
well, the way
up
he was
and running.
Yeah, the way he was tackled, he had his legs underneath him, and his torso was kind of pushed back to the ground. So unless you're a yoga instructor, I can't see that position being beneficial to a football player. So
Wimble heads to the sideline. He tries to walk that off. Frazier checks back in for the Bob Whites. First and 10. Parent takes a snap. Going to be a handoff and juking his way and trying to take it forward is Josh Lesbrance, I believe.
Yep, number 24, Josh Lesbrance on that carry.
Lesbrance able to pick up 5. Well, look at call it 9-yard carry for Lesbrance down to the 11-yard line of the Falcons.
BFA using a lot of different looks right now in the backfield as there's 2 or 3 players running in on every play to kind of mix things up.
Handy again splits out wide on the far side of the field. There's a snap, going to be a handoff straight ahead, and bouncing it outside is number 40, Frazier, picking up the first down. Caught a pickup of 5 on the carry, all the way down to the Falcon.
Pickup of 5 down to the Falcon 3-yard line.
Call it the Falcon, maybe Falcon 5-6 yard line, somewhere in there.
4:22 left in this third quarter. BFA comfortably in control, 53-20.
Adam Bristol will split out wide on the far side of the field. Josh Lesbrunts lines up as the slot man. Minier in motion. There's a handoff straight ahead to Frazier, but the flags fly at the line of scrimmage. May have had some movement here against the Bob White offense.
Here comes the call.
Offside against
Falcons.
Against North Country. So break there for the Bob Whites. That will be half the distance to the goal line. Clock will stop. Well, or not.
Well, the clock keeps going, and half the distance to the goal line. So we got a first and goal at the 4-yard line.
First and goal at the 4, indeed. Jordan Bristol splits out wide to the far side. Frazier, the lone man in the backfield. Corrigan under center. There's a snap. Handoff straight ahead to Frazier, who's in for the touchdown, BFA.
Good job, Frazier, again, following his blocks, hitting the hole that the play was designed for, and just like that.
Bit of a delayed call as I was trying to look. I had a pole in front of the official, so I couldn't see the signal, but looked like he was in.
Yeah.
So Frazier takes it in from 5 yards out, and the Bob Whites will attempt the PAT. Kicker Josh Hungerford out. Parent takes the snap. The kick is up under heavy pressure, and it is good.
Good job there.
So our score with 3:36 remaining here in the third quarter, it's BFA 60, North Country 20. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA.
With the owner of a white Toyota Camry with an out-license plate, BFA 356, please move your car to blocking the ambulance entrance. It's a white Toyota Camry, Vermont license, BAF 356. Please move your vehicle.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Collins Pearly Sports Center. 60-20, BFA over North Country. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
North Country, you know, any momentum or air that North Country had in their sails has probably been taken out as BFA has put a 40-point spread between them and North Country, and you got to figure that at this point, with 1 quarter left, 1 quarter and 3 minutes left, they're probably looking to get out of here as fast as they possibly can.
Hungerford's kick goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line, so that will be a penalty against the Bob Whites. North Country will have the option to re-kick or to assess the penalty from where it went out of bounds. And so there's the official signal, delay a game against the Bob Whites. And the ball will be spotted at the North Country 35-yard line.
Well, I got a chance, Ted. I just wanted to wish a speedy recovery to my fiance, Audra. She's home in bed right now, recovering from a sickness, so I wish her a speedy return.
Here's a snap and a handoff, taking it to the outside on the keeper is Groden. Groden has the first down, and Moore stood up and wrapped up, taken down at midfield at the 50-yard line.
That play has been fairly successful for North Country all night, and again, that's one of the plays that BFA can start to focus on, and one of the things their defense can do to kind of learn and to execute and shut that play down. They haven't shut it down all night.
Although, again, we mentioned that North Country runs out of that I formation. They run that option so well. You typically see it out of the wishbone, but the fact is they're running it just as well out of the I. 1st and 10, there's a snap, and it's going to be a counter handoff and nowhere to run. Called a pickup of about 3 on the play. That well defended there by the Bob Whites. That's LaFleur on the carry.
And number 53, Michael Lumen, amongst others, in on that tackle for BFA, so good job there.
Freedom Medical proudly supports all BFA sports. Freedom Medical now open in 2 convenient locations, in St. Albans and in Enosburg. 2nd and 8 here for the Falcons. There's a snap, handoff to the fullback straight ahead. Again, that's LaFleur, able to pick up, I'll call it 3 on the carry straight ahead.
And again, Michael Lumen, number 53, in on the tackle for BFA. So that's back-to-back plays that have come right at him. He's fended off the blocker and put himself in a position to make the tackle, and has executed the tackle. So, good job by him.
I want to remind our listeners that the Bob Whites are at home next Saturday, a Saturday game. That's homecoming against Spalding. Chris Wood and Dave Burno will be on the air for WRSA. 6:45 pregame. There's the snap. Going to be a quarterback keeper. Turning it upfield is Groden, and going to be stopped just short of the 1st down. Needed 5 yards. Looked like he picked up 4.
BFA secondary doing a nice job there, coming up and filling the gaps and making the tackle probably 4 yards into the backfield, but nevertheless, good hits there by BFA secondary.
Going to set up our first 4th down of the evening, if you can believe that, with 1:27 remaining here in the 1st quarter. 4th and 1. Groden takes a snap, handoff straight ahead to LaFleur. He has the 1st down and more. Down to the Bob White 36-yard line.
Did you see number 44 Tyler Wimble that time? He was grabbing for that ball, and I don't know if number 39 for North Country LaFleur is just kind of showing it out there for the BFA defenders or not, but
well, he's had a hard time holding on to the ball. He's had some nice runs, but he's had a couple of fumbles as well. Of course, LaFleur coming into this game, only a sophomore, so he's got many years ahead of him here.
Yeah, he'll be a player to watch here in another year or so.
Here's the snap again, handoff on the counter to Cook. Cook met in the backfield, wrapped up and taken down. Bob White's not being fooled at all by that counter this evening.
No, and and they run a counter themselves, so I think they look at the counter play a lot in practice, and they're not fooled by the counter play very often. The only thing they're fooled by is like the option play tonight, where the ball gets pitched out on the flank to the running back, or the QB goes around end. So
2nd and 10 for the Falcons.
Brody Josh splits out wide on the far side of the field. Again, I formation in the backfield for the Falcons. Groden, long count here at the line, takes a snap, and option play to the near side, turns it upfield, dives forward, taken down to the BFA 35-yard line. 2-yard pickup, and that was defended nicely.
Yeah, number 28, Miles Lawler, coming up to make the tackle, amongst others, as we start to give some of these BFA defenders a little bit of a plug.
And the horn will sound, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of play. It's BFA 30, North Country 20. You're listening to BFA football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Chris Wood. As we begin to start the 4th quarter of play, all BFA, they have a 60-20 lead.
12 long minutes left for North Country, as they just don't have an answer for this BFA offense, whether it's the 1st string or the 2nd string right now, Tate. BFA still continuing to score at will.
Next to your home, your car is your biggest investment. When you visit Midas, you've got a mechanic dedicated to helping you keep your car around for a long time. With regular scheduled maintenance programs at great prices, Midas will help you keep your car running like new. Midas, located at 119 North Main Street in St. Albans. There's the snap. Grodin back to pass, looking downfield, firing, and incomplete, looking to the near sideline. Looking for LaFleur coming out of, well, no, that's 29. Tyler Blake is who he's looking for.
5'11", 165, Tyler Blake, a senior, and they just couldn't connect on that pass play. But you know, North Country, no question, North Country's got to execute or start to run those plays a little more often. And that 10-yard or 15-yard out pattern is a perfect play because it's a very low-risk play for them.
4th and 6. Joe Moore will split out wide to the near side. Grodin up under center, takes the snap. Handoff to the second man through, that's Cook. He bounces forward. It's going to be close to a North Country first down. He may be just short by a yard. And there's the signal. He is indeed short, and the Bob White defense holds.
Good job by the Bob White defense. And again, another little victory for the BFA defense right now when giving up 20 points to North Country. That might not sit well with them, but a stand like that can be a little victory and something to build on for the next game.
So the Bob White offense heads back onto the field. The Bob Whites have yet to punt the football in this game. They're averaging less than 2 punts so far in this early season. Corey Parent in at quarterback. He'll take the snap, handoff straight ahead to Frazier, who barrels ahead forward. Going to be close to a Bob White first down. Called a pickup of 9, maybe 10 on the carry.
Frazier on the carry, pickup of 9.
Good job there by Frazier. Again, following his blocks and running to daylight. Like you said, Tate, a 9-yard gain. That's a good pickup.
40-yard line.
Going to set up a 2nd and 1 for the Bob Whites.
You know, one nice thing about having a kid like Cody Root in front of you is this ability to teach the other backs, you know, how it's done.
Frazier straight ahead for the pickup. I also should know, I believe the last carry on the 9-yard carry was Adam Horgan. So I believe that was Horgan on the 9-yard carry, and Frazier just picking up that first down on a 5-yard carry.
But you know, there's for the younger players at BFA, there's kids that they can watch and kind of emulate, and players that are teaching the younger kids what to do.
1st and 10. Frazier and Horgan in the backfield here for the Bob Whites. Corey Parent in at quarterback. There's a snap. Handoff to Horgan. Horgan trying to take it around and nowhere to run. Caught a loss of 2 on the play.
Loss of 2, that'll make it
2nd and 12. They've got to get to the 44-yard line for a first down.
10 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. 60-20 BFA over the Falcons. Also want to remind our listeners to listen to the Domino's post-game show, where we'll name our Domino's dominating player of the game. There's a snap, handoff to Frazier straight ahead, nowhere to run. Again, looks like it's going to be a loss of maybe 1, maybe 2 on the carry.
I see the couple of the boys carrying the Gatorade bucket over to the sidelines. Do you think that's anticipation of a Coach Murray dunking?
Well, that may be a bit premature. Sure, Coach Murray, he won't mind having that, but he'd like to have that, I think, for the last game of the season.
I see.
It's going to set up a 3rd and 14 here for the Bob Whites. Pro set formation in the backfield. That's Frazier and Horgan. There's a snap, handoff straight ahead and rumbling forward. Actually, I believe that's 44. Tyler Wimbo, who's wrapped up, taken down out at midfield. Call that a 7-yard pickup.
Tyler Wimble, again, tough yards up the middle, keeps his feet moving, lowers his shoulders and his head, low center of gravity, and he has a nice gain.
And the BFA punt unit will trot on in for the first time tonight with 8:46 remaining here in the game. All BFA, Derek Hungerford to punt away. He does have a nice steady wind to his back. Kyle Poulet back deep for the Falcons. High, booming, end-over-end kick. It's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. And I'll tell you what, Chris, those Hungerford brothers, quite a weapon for the BFA special teams.
Yeah, they both got heavy feet, and they're not afraid to kick the ball well into the end zone, whether it's a punt or a kick. North Country doesn't have much of a chance to return the ball tonight.
And that will only become even more important as the season progresses, as the competition continues to improve.
Absolutely, and over the last few years, when you get down to the playoffs or the last couple of games of the season, field position becomes more and more important, and that part of the game becomes more and more important.
So the North Country offense back out on the field here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Groden takes a snap, handoff straight ahead to LaFleur. LaFleur met at the line, taken down. Looks like he'll pick up 4 on the carry with forward movement.
8:11 left in the game, and I don't see anybody calling any timeouts between here and the end of the game. Certainly Coach Murray probably not, and Newport coach probably will be content just to get out of here as best he can.
Immediately following tonight's BFA Bob White football game, Red Sox baseball, so stay tuned, Red Sox fans.
I didn't think there was many of them left.
Groden with the snap and handoff straight ahead. Well, there's a few left, at least for one more week anyways.
Well, I'm a huge Red Sox fan, so I can sit here and poke fun at them. But it's certainly been a very difficult 6 weeks. And the season can't end fast enough for Red Sox fans.
Now, I don't listen to the Boston media often, at least at this time of the year, being a Yankees fan. But what's the talk with Ortiz and the MVP ability? Is that all lost now?
I don't know. Not being in the playoffs is certainly going to hurt his cause, but you can't ignore his numbers, and certainly.
There's a snap back to pass. Groden firing downfield and incomplete. Looking for number 80, Joe Moore, who went up high into the air, took a hit, and came down hard, jarring that ball loose.
Jordan Bristol almost comes up with that interception for BFA, but it goes through his hands as well.
Well, they're going to call it a first down. So, indeed, Moore coming up with that catch.
That was a reception? God.
A nice dandy catch by Joe Moore, being upended on the far sideline for Aaron Groden's first completion of the evening. 1st and 10 here for the Falcons. I formation in the backfield. There's a snap. Going to be back to pass once again. Tucks it up, turns upfield. Stutter steps his way, has the first down. Still on his feet, out to the 49-yard line. Some nifty moves there by the quarterback, Groden, to pick up the first down.
What happened there, Tate, is the BFA defense kind of went to the perimeter to protect against the pass and to force Grunin in to keep him in the pocket, and Grunin just cut upfield and ran to daylight. So a good heads-up play by him.
Sets up a 1st and 10 here. Call that a 15-yard scramble for the quarterback. 2 receiver set on the far side of the field. I formation, Groden. Long count the line. There's a snap. Handoff straight ahead. Actually, quarterback keeper on the fake. And the ball is loose. And they blew the whistle dead. If not, Bob Whites would have come away with that. The defense falling all over the football here this evening.
Anthony Teague, number 76, was the one who ended up with the ball. But like you said, Tate, I think the referee blew it dead before the ball actually was jarred loose.
Going to set up a 2nd and 9. Clock continues to run. Clock on the side of the Bob Whites here this evening. They lead 60. That's right, 6-0, 60-20 over North Country. 5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining here in the game. Groden up under center. There's a snap. Handoff straight ahead to the fullback. Met at the line, call it a 3-yard pickup.
Michael Lumen again in on the tackle for BFA. We've called his number several times here in the second half, and He's done a good job being right in the middle of it.
Bob Whites will improve to 4-0 overall, and 4-0 in Division II. The Falcons will fall to 0-4 overall and 0-4 in Division II. I formation once again. Receivers split out wide here to the near side. There's the snap. Going to be a quarterback keeper on the far side of the field. Groden keeps it himself, picks up the first down, still on his feet, and dives ahead out to the BFA 35-yard line.
Let's fast forward, Tate, to next week, and I know you're not going to be here to see the game, but you probably know as much as anybody up in the booth here about Spalding, and what can we expect to see from them?
Well, Spalding, typically you'll see a lot of what you call it the old wing offense. A lot of movement behind the line of scrimmage as we see the snap here straight ahead. Once again to LaFleur on the carry.
A lot of misdirection.
I don't want to call it the Delaware wing tee. Actually, probably call it the single wing, the old single wing tee offense, and a lot of misdirection in the backfield. It's a unique offense that BFA has had difficulties running against in the past few years.
Spalding's record right now is...
They're still looking for their first victory of the year.
So they're a team that is probably similar in makeup to this North Country team. And
there's a snap, actually back to pass, firing across is Groden, and caught. The reception all the way down to the Bob White, call it 15-yard line, number 88, Jim Mickle. Or excuse me,
Neal?
Jim Meal.
Jim Meal.
I had my E looking like a C.
6 foot, 175-pound senior from Newport, and he makes a nice catch as he kind of goes to the ground and scoops up the pass. Brings the ball all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Groden up under center, takes a snap, hands off to the second man through, number 25, Chris Cook, who's still on his feet, pushing the pile, and the officials finally blow the play dead out to the BFA 10-yard line. But yeah, Chris, I mean, obviously the Bob Whites need to focus next week on Spalding and keep their heads just there, but they should. That's a game that if they're prepared and they play their game, that's a game they should win.
They should win, yeah.
The next big match that I would expect to see is at Essex.
Yeah, and I think certainly BFA is probably circling their calendar.
Pitch goes to Cook on the far side of the field and ridden out of bounds on the quarterback option play.
But you know, I mean, and I don't think there's anything wrong with looking. I mean, you don't look ahead. You take each game as it comes, but you certainly realize that Essex has been the measuring stick for success in Football North over the last 20 years. And I am very, very interested to see that matchup.
3rd and 2 here for the Falcons. They're trying to get a score to close things out here in the 4th quarter. They trail by 40 points. Groden up under center. I formation, 3rd and call it 3. There's a snap. Going to be a quarterback option to the far side of the field. Groden turns it up, has a seam, dives forward. Is he in? He's in for a touchdown. So Groden 5 yards out for the score.
Yeah, Groden just dove across the goal line and barely got in as the BFA D was crashing in on him, very fast. But good job by him, squirting into the end zone for an extra 6 points, and he brings the score to 60-26 with 1:23 left in the ball game.
North Country will go for the 2-point conversion. Brody Josh splits out wide to the near side. There's a snap. Back to pass. Rolling to the near side is Groden. Looking in the end zone. Fires it. Has a man, and it's caught for the conversion. Number 84, I believe, or is that number... I don't have an 84. But call it the 2-point conversion is good. So our score, that's 24. Jesse Bennett. So our score, with 1:23 remaining, it's BFA 60, North Country 28. You're listening to BFA Bob White Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Chris Wood at the Collins Pearly Sports Center. Minute 23 remaining here in the fourth quarter. All BFA 60-28, and the kick is away. And it's going to be fielded by the Bobwhites at the 30, and they will finally take a knee right there. About the 35-yard line. Flag flies.
Looks like a potential face mask, Tate, as one of the North Country players, I think, was a little high with his tackle. I mean, we'll have to see, but that's what it looked like to me.
We'll wait for it. Again, looking at Spalding, I don't believe last Bob White lost to Spalding, I believe, was when David Ball, who's now playing for UNH, ready to break the all-time 1AA touchdown reception record held currently by Jerry Rice. But getting back to Essex, I guess I can do that because I'm not going to be here next week, so I can skip ahead.
Right.
But the Bobwhites, while it's not a league game, it is a way to kind of measure themselves, measure where they stack up with other teams in Division I. They've had back-to-back year heartbreaking losses to Essex. Last year at home, losing in overtime to Essex. 2 years ago on the road against Essex, getting out to a quick 14-0 lead against the Hornets, and having Essex come back at the very end of the game, scoring a late touchdown with about a minute left on a long pass completion to come from behind to win that game. A lot of these BFA players remember those last 2 years.
Oh, absolutely, and I think for them, going through a Division II schedule and beating teams like North Country by 40 points, that's great, but I think for these kids growing up playing the Essexes and the Burlingtons and the South Burlingtons, that's kind of who they envision their competition to be.
BFA takes a knee with a minute remaining here in the fourth quarter. We expect a couple more of those to finish off the game here. Parent up at the line, settling folks down, trying to take off as much time as possible as he looks at the official. Takes a snap and another knee with 40 seconds, and the Bobwhites will have to do that just one more time.
One more time, and this game will be over. But I think you're right, Tate. I think Essex is the measuring stick for these kids. I think they look at Essex just as importantly, if not more, as they would a Bellows Falls or a South Burlington. And believe me, they want to win that game.
Bobwhites will head to the line with 20 seconds remaining and look to take one more knee to close things out, to try to run their victory to 4-0, and indeed, in fact, they don't have to, so 10 seconds left. The officials say you don't need to take that last knee. The clock is going to go, and that's going to do it. The Bobwhites will improve to 4-0 overall. They win this one at 60-28. We'll take another 2-minute timeout, come back with our Domino's post-game show. You're listening to BFA Bobwhite Football on the new ESPN 1420 WRSA.